It's kind of.
You're gonna feel my death.
It's kind of. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Jeez. Yeah, it's kind of shaded up there. I just want the sun to break.
Yeah. So this tree is probably 30 foot.
Okay. All right. Dude, we got light. Take it.
Yeah. Kids, please do not do this at home. All right, here we go.
Oh.
Oh. My shoe.
Yes.
And look. Oh, let me get my crock.
Looks like you lost a crock.
Yeah, I did. But remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification.
So I'm at Camp Ben McCullough in Driftwood, Texas with Dan Golka and Aaron. And Aaron was nice enough to take us over to this beautiful, beautiful creek. Let you take a look at this. Water just flowing as far as the eye can see. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. Almost seems prehistoric. But before we go any farther in this video, please make sure that you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted with the newest videos. Also, come over to my Patreon channel. I'm uploading a bunch of videos. Last couple days, videos have gone up on Patreon. And we just filmed a Patreon video today about preparation, water purification, and the importance of being able to purify water. Aaron went into depth, into detail about the importance of being able to purify water. And if you live in an environment like I do in the desert where it can reach 125 degrees, 126 degrees, you're not going to have 3 days to survive without water. You'll have hours and you're going to be in big trouble. So check it out. Come over to Patreon. If you're having a hard time finding it, just go to my website, jeremiahbabe.com. You'll find the Patreon link there. But without further ado, I want to bring Dan Golka in here because there's a lot happening. I want to start with this. South Africa, there is turmoil, and I'm going to leave it at that. There is severe turmoil taking place in South Africa. Businesses being burned down, people have lost their lives. There is complete unrest taking place there, and you now have a country that is upside down. Dan, I bring this up because this somehow, some way has got to affect the global economy.
Oh, it absolutely it does. And the problem that you have is you're seeing looting. You're seeing them loot storage units. You're seeing them pull trucks over the side of the road off of highways, and gangs of marauders. I mean, I don't even know what you'd call them, that are taking over these businesses and just going from place to place to place. And it's utterly horrific. And people need to worry about their safety. It's incredibly sad to witness this, but it's also an eye-opening experience to see this, because people say, oh, that could never happen here, and it could happen here. It could happen here in days. It could happen here. You need to be ready for this.
And in these areas of South Africa, they seem very affluent. We saw some very nice
Shopping
malls,
yeah.
Beautiful malls, beautiful stores destroyed. And how quickly things can be destroyed. Now, we talked about this a little bit more in depth on Patreon yesterday with Aaron and the importance of security. I highly recommend you come over to Patreon where we can speak a little bit more in depth about certain subjects. But getting back to this, now they're talking now that South Africa is going to have food shortages, fuel shortages, food and fuel. And now, what does this mean for the global economy? It seems like the markets are doing okay today. I haven't checked. Do you know where we're at today?
I haven't checked.
But last I checked, I think we were down a little bit, but nothing catastrophic or anything like that. Dan's going to check really quickly here. But it hasn't seemed to cause much of any effect yet in the global markets. But this is just a reminder of how quick things can happen, how quick your food can be shut off, how quick your fuel can be shut off, and why you need to have extra food and water stored away where you can get to it. Do we have
the Dow was up a little bit, 100 points, and the NASDAQ was down 100 points, and the S&P was down a little bit. And
okay.
Again, it's flat. It's ridiculous. It's mixed.
We got the job numbers today on top of this. So we've got South Africa now in massive turmoil. Job numbers come in today. 360,000 Americans filed for first-time unemployment claims last week. They expected that number to come in at 350. It came in 10,000 above expectations. 360,000 people, Dan Golka, filed first-time jobless claims last week in the booming economy, in the V-shaped recovery. Millions of jobs out there available for people. Jobs are literally jumping out of the water, yet 360,000 people lost their jobs last week.
Yeah, it's terrible. And they're telling us how great this is and everything's bouncing back. And I have people that, write you and say, oh, we're bouncing back and booming forward. You need to look at the positive everything. And there's real cracks in the armor, guys. They're telling us things are great and they're not great. And this is another example. There should be, if it's good, this number should be dropping in a huge way each week. And every economist I've spoken to has given me their spin, but they've all said that, yeah, things are not good right now.
If the economy was good, people would be getting 40-hour work weeks. They'd be getting 50, 60 hours overtime. Does anybody even know what the word overtime even means any longer? Does anybody even get overtime today? I don't think I know anybody that goes, oh, JB, I had a long week. I got 10 hours of overtime in. I don't even know if that even exists anymore. But we're still at 0% interest rates. The Fed is expanding that balance sheet. Where are we at? $8.4 trillion on that balance sheet. And get ready, it's going to continue to go higher.
And don't forget, there's been $5.2 trillion in stimulus, and the final bit of stimulus is being issued right now. And that final bit is the child tax credit. Now, they're starting to send that out, and they're talking about the waves that it's going to go out. So are people going to get this money quick? Are they going to get it slow? That's the stuff I cover on my channel. And I think that you're going to start to see some hiccups in that. But again, the child tax credit, getting that is not going to save the economy. $500 a month for some people, it's not going to make all the difference in the world. It's going to help, but it's not going to make all the difference in the world.
And that's a great point that Dan makes. They think that they can spend their way out of this depression. Think about that. They think they can spend their way out of the worst depression that has begun, okay? And I know people out there are going to laugh, Dan, like, oh, what are you talking about? The economy's doing great. There are people that tell Dan and I, the economy's doing great. You guys are nuts. Dan.
I had someone reach out to me on my channel who works for a mortgage company, and he works for the risk management department. And he was talking about how people don't realize how all the forbearance loans, people think that they're just going to take those payments and tack them onto the end. That's deferment. That's not forbearance. The forbearance problem that's coming is coming because they're going to say, okay, Mr. Homeowner, you've got to either refinance your house, make up your 16 payments, or get a refinance, and it's a real problem right now.
And let me ask you this, Dan. How do you refi your house, or how do you make up payments if you don't have a job?
Yeah, you don't. And the other thing is that people have not realized that the insurance on your house and the
property
taxes are all not, those have not been put off. I had people reach out to me in multiple states. Connecticut has been the biggest problem, where they're starting foreclosure proceedings on these people. So
Dan, let me ask you this: what about people? Let's just say they bought a house 3 years ago for $200,000, and here we are 3 years later, and that $200,000 house now is $500,000. How do these same people afford the reassessment of those property taxes?
The property taxes are going to skyrocket, and people are not prepared for that. And some people are going to have impound accounts where the money's taken out every month, and they're going to have that adjustment hit. And just like, hey, your insurance payment's going to go up $19 a month. This is going to go up. Well, now your property taxes are going to go up $260 a month. Mm-hmm. People are going to be shocked when some of this stuff hits.
And what about the people right now in forbearance who haven't been paying their property taxes?
Yeah.
Because they thought, how many people said, I didn't think I had to do that. I'm in forbearance.
Right. And again, I've seen people reach out to me, what can I do? I'm in foreclosure. I'm like, get an attorney, figure this out, because you need money to pay those taxes right away, because some of these states, and every state is different. California is different than Texas. It's different than Connecticut. Know your state laws. Get some real help. Get some serious financial help. I'm not a financial advisor, neither is JB, but get some serious advice on what to do with this stuff.
You know, I really, really hope that people are really paying attention to what's going on out there. This thing is a ticking time bomb. There are hand grenades laying all over the ground, and people are walking through the dark. And when these things start going off, there's no going back. And we're seeing now this happening across the globe. We're seeing things now turning upside down, as we're seeing in South Africa. Imagine being there. The just utter sheer nightmare that is taking place there. Beautiful areas there now being ransacked and just destroyed. And people think that that can't happen here. I'll tell you what, we're closer than you think. And this economy, when it goes, see, people just think like, oh, it's going to be slow for 6 months or a year, or you know, some more malls will close down, or gas will go up a little bit more. I'll be fine. It'll be okay. You have no idea how bad these things can get and how long they're going to last. This is going to be the worst and hardest hitting depression America has ever seen, and it's going to be, I truly believe, the longest lasting depression the U.S. and the world has ever seen.
People need to prepare. You've got time, okay? No time like the present. Stock food, save some money, get rid of those bills. What don't you need in your life? What payments do you have that you can get rid of? Get rid of them now while you can.
And remember, time is not your friend, okay? The clock is ticking. You do not know what you're going to wake up to tomorrow, next week, next month. Just like these people in South Africa. They woke up to a nightmare. And now, if those people are not prepared, how in the world? You can't leave your house. You'll be a victim. So, I mean, just imagine if you're watching what's happening over there, there's no way you're leaving your house. It's so dangerous. So this is why it's so important to have that food and water and security where you can get to it at your house, wherever, because you may not be able to leave.
You know, and I want to thank you, you know, on your video of, you know, I am so grateful for the security training and the survival training. Everything that you and Aaron have taught me this week has been just worth its weight in gold. I mean, to say the least, or silver for that matter.
Well,
but it's been absolutely fantastic, and I appreciate every second.
Really happy to have you out, and you know, this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Having a network, having a group of people that comes together. That network is so important. You know, we talk about how many people don't have family, they don't have a church, they don't have a network, they lose a job, they have some bad luck. They're homeless. They're on the streets. They become victims. When you have people in your network that are awake, who are preparing, makes all of you stronger. And you know, Dan shares news with me. I'm like, wow, I didn't hear that. Aaron shares news with me. I didn't hear that. And so you know, you have more minds thinking together, and it just brings in more knowledge. And again, you're putting the odds in your favor when you're surrounding yourself with more good people. And this is a time in your life, while we're talking about this, you may have to cut people out of your life. Some people are toxic, and some people might say, JB, you're a negative person, you're doom and gloom. No, I'm a realist. I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want to see my family get hurt. I don't want to see my friends get hurt. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. And I see what's going on, and if I'm not telling you the truth, if I'm not warning people, then I feel like I'm not doing my duty. I'm not being a real American. Look, I am, in my humble opinion, trying to do the best that I can. I'm trying to walk closer to God, say my prayers. And as long as God allows me to live, as long as God allows me to make these videos, I'm going to continue to sound that alarm, wake you up. And it may be repetitive. Some people say, JB, it's a broken record. But you know what? Not everybody's heard the message. If you have all the answers and you've heard the message, then you can move on. Maybe you need to start your own channel. You're all set. But there's too many people out there that still haven't heard, who are not awake. And you're going to need to surround yourself with people like this, because if you don't have good people around, you're going to have big problems. And that's why it's an honor to have good friends and a good network. You know, we talk about cutting the debt out. Debt is negative. Get rid of it. It makes you a slave. Toxic people, okay? Not realists. Toxic people who bring you down, tell you you're no good, tell you that, you know, oh, that could never happen. Stop listening. These are the people you need to get out. There's people out there that tell you that everything's going to be fine. Just keep going out, you know, keep partying, keep smoking dope, keep doing drugs, keep watching the cartoons, keep playing the video games. Don't listen. Just, you know, hope it goes away. And there's people out there I know that just say, hey, you know, my wife or my husband or whatever just thinks I'm nuts and doesn't want me to spend money on these preparations or whatever. And that's, you know, it's a hard position to be in. But, you know, right now, whether your wife or husband likes it or doesn't, if you have kids and you have a family, you got to look out for your family. Whether a family member likes it or not, you got to make sure that your family is going to be safe and it's going to survive this economic collapse. There are going to be people that you know at the church, in your family, relatives, parents, husbands and wives, people at work that are going to say, you're absolutely nuts. You shouldn't be doing this. Nothing bad's going to happen. You better wake up. You have kids. You have a family that you need to be looking out for. Do not listen to these people. These people are the people that just believe that hope is going to fix everything. They believe that the government will fix everything. They believe that Wall Street will fix everything. They believe that the Fed now can fix it. These are all the reasons where we're at right now, okay? Because of the banks and the Fed and the politicians. The people that you think are going to fix this are the ones that got us here. All this money printing, okay? All this criminality. These people believe that we're going to be able to spend our way back, that we're going to create more debt and dig ourselves out of debt by creating more debt. I'm going to leave it with Dan Golka.
You know, guys, again, you know, my grandfather used to have a line, and he would say, you can't borrow yourself out of debt. And it's hold true my entire life. And by paying off your debt, you can move forward, okay? You've got to have a mortgage. You've got to, you know, you got to have a car payment sometimes. You got to have some bills, but just get rid of frivolous things in your life that you do not need. This is not the time
Dan,
for
do you
it.
need a $80,000 car right now?
No,
Do
you
you
don't.
need a $1,000 a month lease right now?
No, you don't need a $450 a month car
Keep
payment.
it minimal
Get
right
rid
now.
of them. Get rid of it right now.
The opportunity's coming.
Yes. And again, buy a used car, okay? Get rid of the car payments. Do what you can do to stack silver, get some food, get some water prep, and stay safe. Be safe.
Aaron, I'll let you close if you, looks like you have something you might want to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on over.
So everyone thought Noah was crazy. And so storm is coming. I hope you're building your ark. That's all I have to say.
And I think I'm beginning to feel raindrops. Talk to all of you soon. Excellent.